want to know how I got these scars? My father introduced me to the Life is Such podcast. And when listening to this podcast, I realized how miserable my life truly was. So, I decided to take a knife and stick it in my mouth and cut some smiles into my face to make up for the happiness that I no longer had. Stream now on Spotify and YouTube.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Life is Such podcast. I am Will, joined by the ever-present Callum and Tom. How are we today, boys?
I'm feeling omniscient.
Oh, yeah.
I know all.
I'm feeling okay. Feeling
Good
groovy.
New Year. Good New Year. Nice time.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Yeah.
I didn't get as drunk as I wanted to, which is quite disappointing.
That is disappointing. The biggest disappointment, we talked about this the other day, that we didn't get to have one of your annual parties, Callum, in your house. I was actually, we do it every year. Last year, Tom wasn't
I
able to
know,
make
I was
it.
fucking fuming.
Yeah, I was gone by like 9:30 at that time. It was fucking awful. Who knew cocaine, weed and alcohol does not mix that well?
A lot of people, to be fair. Callum had one last year, same as every year. And Tom was in a flat across the road, like 50 metres away. And passed out.
It wasn't that house. It was probably about 10-minute walk away, I think.
Oh, okay. You started there though, right?
You just didn't want to come over and share.
We were fuming.
I was gone. I missed the fireworks. I missed everything. I missed all the good stuff because they told me everything that happened, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I really fucked up."
I had the Snapchat memories came up the other day, like 1 year ago, right? And I'm looking through, and I'm like, "Oh, this is a good night." And it's like selfies of me and Callum and all these other people, right? And like halfway through, I think I sent it to the Facebook chat. I know I definitely sent it to Callum. There's Callum's niece dancing to Robbie Williams.
Oh yeah, that was fucking brilliant.
She had her hand behind her head doing like hip thrusts. Bearing in mind she's like 6, 7 at the time, just doing these hip thrusts and swinging her hips.
Yeah, it was a bit concerning.
It was bizarre. And then they had the video of me and Callum twerking with that ping pong ball game when you got the ping pong thing wrapped around your ass.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
It was
I forgot about that.
Skinny bloke and a fat bloke, and it looked horrific. It looked like a scene out of like a pork swing movie. It was terrible.
A pork swing movie.
It was,
Jesus.
mate. It was nasty, man. But that was a good night, man. That was good. But we didn't get to have one this year, which sucks. So hopefully,
it's been a
have
while
one.
since we've had one though. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, fucking old BJ Johnson turns around in the next 2 weeks and goes, right, we're just gonna put everything back to normal because we fucked it enough already. So there's no point in us having a lockdown. Like,
I still think personally, it's not gonna be lifted until the vast majority of the population have had this so-called vaccine. Because there's a long list of people waiting, so it's obviously going to be people who, frontline workers, not necessarily key workers, but frontline workers like nurses are going to get it first. The elderly will get it first.
That won't be for a while.
I don't even think my mum knows when she's getting the vaccine, and she's a frontline worker. So.
Yeah, I think for the people who have already had it, I don't think they're getting their boosters until probably around about like either towards the end of this month or April.
Yeah.
I read a couple of conflicting articles about it, so.
But that's the problem. There's always going to be, multiple sources saying different things, and there's no one true, reliable source of information about something like this, unless it comes through, the Prime Minister. But even so, he hasn't got a clue what's going on.
No, he's just a bumbling fucking moron.
Anyway, we're going to get started with the topic of discussion today. It's not really a topic, it's more of a fun insight into the way we perceive life as individuals. I think it's quite a funny thing. I imagine Would You Rather on steroids is what I said to the boys before we started.
Basically, we are going to bore the shit out of you.
Not necessarily. I want people to watch this. I was saying to my mum the other day, because she was like, what's the goal of this? Like, as she is being a parent. And I was like, I don't want to have like that niche, people do like news podcasts and sports podcasts and stuff. I want people to watch it because they like us and like our personalities.
Yeah.
I don't want people to be like, oh, I'll go there if I want to hear about the latest football score, which isn't bad. Like, I listen to, my mate's got a podcast called Playing Offside. Go listen to it if you're a football fan. It's amazing. And it's just him and his mates talking about the weekly football scores and laughing about and having jokes, and it's funny. But I want people to watch us listen to us because we're funny people and we've got good chemistry. And I think my dog just went through the roof. I don't know what the hell that was.
Basically, what he's trying to say is we struggle to make friends in real life because we are just that unlikable.
Yes.
And we're hoping that by recording all of the shit we spout on a daily basis, someone out there within the 7 to 8 billion population will actually go, oh, yeah, these guys are alright, and message us and then hopefully not kill us in the woods somewhere. So
what you don't know is we only made friends because the teachers thought, who are the 3 most annoying people in this classroom? And they just stuck us in a room together. But
that's how year 3 started.
Yeah, because I moved down here in year 3, so I moved.
And then after we finished biting each other, scratching out each other's eyes, all of that, we then decided to go, you know what? Let's try and become friends.
Yeah, my teeth.
The struggle's still there after all these years.
The real reason my teeth were so fucked is because Callum beat the shit out of me when I was 3. Anyway,
you don't fuck with me, boys.
Before we start, right, I've got a question. Just came to me head. I thought about this earlier. I thought it'd be funny to get a story from you two both. What's the weirdest? Tom, we'll go with you first. Unless you have
the weirdest thing you've shoved up your ass.
What's the weirdest medical story you have? Like so.
Okay, this is easy for me.
So like something maybe you thought was wrong and wasn't wrong, or something like that. Something you had like a scare about, your weirdest medical scare.
Weirdest medical scare. I've had some weird ones. I've had a couple. I've had ones sort of. I was playing football one day and I was trying to keep it inbound. I was about to go for a corner, and I went to go proper swing at the ball, and I ended up kicking the football post and breaking 3 of my toes.
Oh.
And ultimately, it was about 2 miles away from my house, and my mum was at work, so there was no way for me to get home. Obviously, I was in the village, so I could walk home. I was in a lot of pain and had to walk, those 2 miles, and it probably took me about an hour to get home.
Jesus.
Whereas it probably could have taken me about 10 minutes.
Wait, was this at Longborough?
Yeah, Longborough.
To your old house?
Yeah,
that's
my old one,
that's like a 10-minute walk.
Yeah, I know. That's honestly, I was. If anyone saw me walking, crying, limping, then that was the day that I broke my toes.
Yeah, that explains it. Oh, that was that one you had at college as well, where you scared the ever-loving fucking shit out of me for like however many weeks when you had that lump.
Yeah, there's something under my arm, so I instantly, if you fucking find a lump under your arm, I thought it was the old lymph nodes going. Didn't had the old fucking blood test and that, but luckily it was clear. I think it was, I don't know what it was, but it went in a couple of weeks. But that was one of the old, the old classic, the old scares. But that was probably the closest proper scare I've had.
Right, so we've had Tom's scare. I think what we're going to do is we'll all tell one story and then we'll all each vote which we think was like the funniest. Right, so we've had Tom's broken toes and his lymph nodes. Callum, do you have any?
I don't know. Me breaking Tom's nose.
I
think that one's the best.
Oh, tell the story.
To be honest,
please,
can I just clarify with this one? I've broken my nose many times, and I'm not kidding. Many times, not in fights, but it's all been sports related or genuinely just stupidity. And this one was, I had just had my nose reset at the hospital. went under anaesthetic. I was waiting a long time to have this done, and it was perfect. I could breathe through both my nostrils again. And I shall let Callum finish this story because I don't think I've forgiven him for it.
Okay, so I used to go to Reading Uni, and the boys would come over every now and then to visit me. And we went on a night out, and I was wearing these cheap-ass smart shoes from Primark, which is like a cheapy retailer over here, and you can buy all sorts of clothes and shoes and all of that for fuck all money. And the soles of them had like no grip. We went to this club, and we ended up getting kicked out because I went into the smoking area and slipped on a puddle. And this club's notorious for its bouncers being absolute twats.
Yeah, they weren't that good.
You were a bit peppered though, I'm not gonna lie. You weren't in the best of shape.
No, but I was still fully functioning. I literally just slipped on a puddle. Yeah, I was able to walk.
Walk's a bit of an overstatement.
This was the same night. This was the same night, real quick, that Tom got mega paranoid because he smoked that blunt on the way there. And we were on the dance floor, and I was buying a drink, and Tom came over, and he was like, "Yo, man, we got an issue." And I went, "What?" And he goes, "I think them boys want to fight." And I turned around, and there were these like 3 skinny like Asian boys, and they were just
staring at me.
They were minding their own business, but I think they were staring at you because you were staring at them first. And Tom was like, "Seriously, man," he's like proper grabbing up on my coat, and he's like, "Seriously, man," like, and he was proper like dripping in sweat.
We gotta fucking go.
I just bought 3 Jaeger bombs, and he was like, "We gotta go, man." I was like, "We can't go. I just bought drinks." He's like, "Man, we have to go." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "They're gonna kill us. They're gonna do something." And then we went outside. I was like, "All right, Tom, we'll leave." So me and Tom drank Callum's drink as well as our own. Went outside, and Callum was getting told off by this bouncer.
No, I'm pretty sure he was already outside.
He was trying to argue his case.
I must have already been out.
He was trying to argue.
That's the worst thing you can do to a bouncer,
like,
trying to argue that you're sober.
He was like, "Are you two with him?" And we were like, "Yeah, what's happening?" He would get out, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
He was pretty fucking big though, so we're like, "Oh yeah, okay, sure, no worries."
Big man, wasn't he? Anyway, continue the story.
We were walking back to my place, and I'm ahead in the group, and it'd just been raining that night, and
no, it was snowing.
And I'm
snowing, bro.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, it was snowing.
Icy as fuck.
And I turn around to try and speak to them face to face as I'm trying to say something funny, and as I spin, the soles give out, and I slip and fall forward and just nut Tom right in the nose.
This scene replays. It lives in my head rent free. Replays every time I slip or anything. I replay this, and I replay you falling on a leaf when you were like, "It's only a leaf," and then you stacked it on a leaf.
Honestly, I was so pissed off with you for probably a couple months. I waited so long to have that reset.
I was hysterical.
And can I just add on something else? By the time we got home, I was already in a shit mood.
Oh,
you know, had my nose
rearranged. You're gonna say it.
And you know, I thought I'd cheer myself up. Ordered some chicken wings. Can't remember where they were from. I think got about 30 chicken wings, and literally it was snowing. It was freezing cold. About 2 a.m. Walked outside. Went to go collect the chicken wings because it was at student halls. So obviously they couldn't find us. So we were walking. Found him, and we're like, "Oh, he's over there. He's over there." And I don't know how this happened, but they were right next to me. But I think I must have just hit like just a patch of solid black ice because my feet went above my head. Literally slammed down, smacked my elbow. I was like, "Oh no!" They were like, "You're right." I was like, "Just get the chicken wings."
When I tell you guys,
just get the wings.
That Tom ran. He saw this guy and got so excited. He ran because we were all freezing. Right? He ran. This man, when he went in the air, this man looked like an Olympic gold medalist in the trapeze. It was the funniest thing. All I could think was like, my first instinct was, "Shit, what about his head? Did he hit his head?" Luckily he didn't, he landed on his elbow. But I was like, "Shit, what about his head?" And then I looked up and remembered we had wings, and I was like, "Fuck him." And then he was like, his iconic words were just, "Get the wings, man, get the wings." And we just ran over and got him. Came back and he was like, "You got him?" "Yeah." And he got back up and we went and ate.
Honestly, that was probably... most pain I've been in.
That was a wild night. Yeah. That was funny, man.
That was bad.
We'll move on to my
but then
story.
can I just add another point as well? Me and Will slept downstairs in sort of like
on that shitty
living
sofa.
Area. Oh, that was like It was like cardboard. It was.
Mate,
solid.
honestly, those sofas were better than the bed that I had at uni. Like that thing was like laying on a pile of bricks. It was horrible. No, mate, the mattress topper didn't even help.
That's like my bed at uni as well.
I then discovered putting the mattress on the floor was so much better than having it on the bed frame. It was bizarre.
You see, that's why I could never do university. I like having a comfy bed.
What made it worse was one of Callum's flatmates woke me and Tom up at like 6:30 in the morning.
He didn't even fucking wake us up. There was just some strange cunt on his laptop sat at the fucking table.
Not him.
Ah, yes, good old salad fingers.
Not him. He woke me up later. But like at 6:30 in the morning, you might have slept through this, but there was a girl, I'll call her Sally. Callum knows who I'm on about. The pale one. And she was making tea. Right, but she didn't used to. She made tea, but then she turned the oven fan on, and the oven fan was so fucking loud. And I was like 10, 15 feet away, and this thing went off, and she was, "Oh, are you sleeping?" I looked at my watch, it was like 6:45 on a Sunday morning, and all I could think was, "What the fuck are you doing up at this time of the morning?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm sleeping." She went, "Oh, I'm making tea. Do you want some?" I was like, "No, I'm alright," and I just went back to sleep. Fuck off.
See, the problem was, whenever you so she didn't actually turn the extractor fan on. It was so stupid. So if you did anything to do with cooking or even just boiling the kettle, all the wiring was hooked up. So if you even just turned on the kettle, it would turn on the extractor fan.
Oh,
it was so annoying.
that pissed
so
me
you'd be
off,
trying to
man.
be quiet, but so I think it got to the point where after a couple of months, she actually, if she woke up early in the morning, she started taking the unplugging the kettle, taking it out of the kitchen, and boiling her tea in the hallway.
Yeah, I don't blame
on the
her.
staircase.
It's loud,
Bless her.
man. Woke everyone up. It's horrible.
It was very loud.
Oh,
Yeah.
Move on to my story. My story happened this year. I don't know if you noticed, but it involves one of our friends that I go to the gym with quite a lot. So it starts a couple of years ago. So I'm quite an avid gym goer, you guys will know. I'm big on like protein and like nutrients and stuff like that. Right? I take care of myself.
He eats raw steak.
I like to think I take good care of myself. And I remember, I think it was last January, 2019. Holland and Bar had a sale on for protein shakes, right? Like, you know, the penny sale. So you buy one, you get the other one for 1p. I got 2 bags of protein for 30 quid, and I'd never bought protein at the time, so I was like really cautious. So I asked, and I got the diet protein, all this stuff, right? I was really excited. Fast forward to this year, coronavirus hit, all the gyms shut, right? So I'm not working out as much and sort of like plateaued. Stopped using my supplements because there was no need, because I was eating a lot. And skip forward again to like, when did they open again? July, guys? July?
Yeah.
Late July?
About that was the
around
time
about
when
then.
it got lifted.
Yeah, so me and our friend, I'm going to name drop him because he listens. So me and Jack start going gym buddies. And this was in like July time. And I was like, alright, time to crack out the protein again. Same old story, back to what we know. So from July to like, I didn't realise this until like October. So I'm talking like, what, 3 months? 3 months.
Yeah.
I started drinking these proteins just after every session, so like maybe like 3-4 times a week I'd have a protein shake. And I'm thinking to myself, around late August, I had a really bad stomach, right? And I'm like, this is like, I thought it was just like a bug. I was like, man, like, I'm not going to be too morbid, but I was like, there was no consistency in what I was letting go of. It was just, some days it was alright, some days it was hell, some days I felt like my arse had just shut out the world. And like, we get to like the start of October and it's still not going. And at this point it's been like 6 weeks. And I'm really starting to get worried, right? I'm like checking every time I have a shit. It's really bad. I'm like concerned. And I started Googling like the symptoms and shit, and I was like, what the fuck is going on, right? And then I remember...
Yeah, you don't Google the symptoms, mate.
I know.
That's the worst thing to fucking do.
But
Yeah, you Google anything, it's just like, you're dead.
the light bulb
You've
moment...
got 12 types of cancer and AIDS.
The light bulb moment was... my girlfriend was round, and we were downstairs in the kitchen, and she's quite an avid gym goer as well. And she was... I said to her, she said, I'm doing a my protein order. Do you want anything? I'll buy it, because we get free delivery at a certain amount, and then you can just transfer the money. So I was like, alright. I had a look, I was like, I'll go check and see how much protein I've got left. So I ran downstairs, I grab my protein bag, and I drop it on the floor. It's sealed, but as I pick it up, I realise it has an expiry date.
Oh.
The expiry date was May 2020. So I was... when I first started drinking this protein in July, it was already 2 months out of date. When it got to October, it was 6 months, more or less. 5-6 months out of date. And I was wondering why my stomach could not hold water in properly. Like, my body... I was pulling out piss. Like, it was bad, bro. I was so concerned. And lo and behold, I threw that in the bin. And within 2 days, I was back to regular. After like 6.5, 7 weeks maybe of just hellish shits. It was...
If you're eating
bad.
whilst listening to this, I'm sorry.
I should have... Yeah, we should have put a disclaimer.
If you've got yourself a chocolate milkshake, I suggest you put it away.
Yeah, we should have disclaimed that before
Yeah.
getting into it. So, what do we think the weirdest one out of all that is? I think Tom's one.
Hang on, I've not even told my one
Yeah,
yet.
you did?
No, that was Tom's one. I've not talked about me getting injured.
Oh, no, he hasn't actually.
He's cheating.
There
He
you
gets
go.
2 goes then.
Yeah.
What a scumbag.
Apologies.
That's not too
Okay,
How
come
dare
on,
you.
Cam.
Right.
Just 2
There's either
stories
when I
about
broke
me.
my
So
nose-
it's great.
There's either when I broke my nose or there's the time a doctor had to finger my butthole. Which one?
Oh, second, please.
I know the first one because you broke it on my trampoline.
Yeah,
Man tried to do it real quick. We'll sum this one up. Right?
I'm pretty sure both me and Callum have hurt yourself on that.
Yeah,
trampoline.
you busted yourself up. But
that fucking trampoline was dog
to
shit.
sum up the day, I can literally summarise this in about 30 seconds. My garden is on a slope, right? There's no flat land in my garden, so my trampoline
45-degree angle.
Yes, it's literally like a 45-degree incline. It's horrible. And my trampoline had a net on it, and Callum was like, "I'm gonna try and do a front flip," and I said, "Yeah, go on, man, it's easy." My dad said, "Be careful, boys. If you can't do it, don't try," being the sensible parent he is, knowing full well he was responsible for my friend. So Callum, in all of his infinite wisdom, jumped, got halfway in the air, forgot to twist, brung his knees up, and then thought, "Oh shit, my head," wellied his head down and just fucking headbutted his kneecap. And I laughed my head off until he looked up and he was giggling like a satanic little devil. And I was like, "Oh my god," and he was laughing his head off without even realising he was bleeding. And I was like, Dad.
But it wasn't even normal levels of bleeding. It was like a fountain.
It was bad.
And then I think I just got, had so much blood loss, I just wouldn't stop laughing.
And before we get onto Callum getting fingered by a doctor, honourable mention. I once shut Callum's head in a car door after school.
Oh yeah.
I used to go around Callum's house every day after primary school because my dad didn't finish work till 5. Because Callum lived like literally 50 metres away, so we used to just go around there and play Xbox for a bit. And my dad picked me up one day, and I don't remember what exactly I was doing, but I wasn't paying any attention. I think I was listening to my sister. And Callum was like, "Will, you forgot something," and you ran out to bring it to me. And the door was open, and I was just like shouting at my little sister, and I grabbed the door, a big car door of an Audi, big heavy door, and I wellied this thing so hard in anger and thought, "Oh, that didn't shut." And I looked to my left, and Callum's just stood there like, and all this man said was, "Ouch." I was like, "What the are you okay?"
I missed my level of pain threshold from back then. Now I just bash into something very gently, and that's it. I'm just like, ow!
If you can hear me drinking or swallowing, I'm sorry. I'm having a beer. Hopefully it doesn't mess up.
He's not used to swallowing all that often.
Alright, let's not get into that. Anyway, Cam, your story. Go, bumhole time.
Yeah, so I have back and knee problems because, I'm a scrawny cunt. And one day they were really, really bad. And so bad I could barely move. So I phoned up 111 and they were like, "Okay, we'll book you in for a late hospital appointment." I was like, "Cool." Went there and I said to the guy, "Don't tell me to take paracetamol and ibuprofen because I've been told that already. I've done it and it doesn't work." So he did a full check, and because of how bad my knees were, they were hypersensitive. So even the gentlest tap from his little tap hammer would just send them fucking going. And he went white as a sheet. He was just like, "You need to go to John Radcliffe straight away." I was just like, "Why?" And he goes, "I think you've got cauda-equina." I was just like, "Oh, what's that?" And he goes, "Basically, once it's discovered, if it doesn't get treated straight away, it can lead to paralysis of your spine." And we were like, "Oh, cool."
Oh dear.
So hold on. Can I how long ago was this? This was when you were with your current girlfriend, right?
Yeah, this was last year. This was when I started my job at the estate.
Yeah, because I was in first year uni, right? Because I remember, I'm pretty sure I remember this happening because she sent me a photo of you in hospital with no context, and us three are like best mates. So when I saw Callum in I had no fucking idea any of this was happening, and I was in class, I think, at the time, or the library or something. And she's
no, you weren't, because this happened at fucking 9:30 at night.
No, I think I was in the library when I opened it because I go early. I don't check my phone in the mornings. So I look at my Snapchat. It's 9:30, 9:45. I remember being on a computer, my laptop. I'm pretty sure I was in the library or the common room, one of the two. And I open my phone and I'm like, I've got 5 snaps. So I'm scrolling through and I'm like, oh, she sent me one. I click it and it's just you half dead in a hospital bed. And I was like, what happened here? And then she sort of explained it, but explain the bumhole bit because that's the interesting part.
So we get to the hospital and so before, I was supposed to get a MRI scan that night, and I'm in bed and I'm just in so much pain, can't settle, and a nurse comes up. She's just like, "We're really sorry, we can't fit you in for an MRI. We'll have to do it tomorrow morning, so you're gonna have to have a overnight stay in hospital." I'm just like, "Oh, fucking fantastic."
They suck.
And she was just like, right, I've got to test the sensitivity in your leg region to make sure that, you know, no form of paralysis could have started already. I'm just like, oh, okay. And she goes, take your trousers and your pants off. What?
Right up the shitter.
So I'm there in doggy position.
Oh my god.
She puts on her
Common
glove
ground for you.
and she shoves this
Regular
ice cold
Tuesday.
gel. Yes. £2 an hour. I'm cheap.
There you go.
Bet your arsehole's
Yeah,
like
so-
a petri dish.
Does now.
But yeah, she puts on her glove and gets this like ice cold gel.
Ooh.
Basically, just sticks her finger on my bum
You
to
know
make to
what?
see if I can feel it.
I know you love it. I know.
It's not the finger that she's trying to get me to feel. It's more the sensation from the gel, because of like how it activates your nerves.
Can you feel that? Yeah,
Luckily,
you're touching
I
my
could
lung,
feel
you
it.
dirty bitch. Get off. That's my lung. Fuck off. Starts rearranging the ribs and
So
shit.
yeah,
Oh.
luckily I could feel it, and I just couldn't settle. So they gave me this amazing drug cocktail of diazepam, codeine, and oh god, what was the other one? Another very, very strong painkiller.
Probably morphine.
One that's like really addictive. And it was once, I think the diazepam was the last one that they gave me. Once they gave me that, that's it. I was gone.
Mate.
I was high as a kite, but still in a lot of pain. But then once I took the diazepam, I was out like a kite.
I tell you, yeah.
Out like a kite, out like a baby. There you go.
So go on.
And yeah, then woke up the next morning, had my MRI, and they were like, "Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with you." And sent me home. I was just like, "Oh, all that for fucking nothing,"
least-
and I was still in
At
absolute
least
agony.
everything was alright though. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I tell you now, when I for those that don't know, I had like an operation on my jaw where they broke my jaw and moved it forward because I had like a 12mm overgap, and I've been waiting. You two know I've been waiting like 10 years for this. It happened like 2 years ago, a year ago.
Yeah, a long time you've been
Yeah,
waiting.
I got told when I was 14, well 11 that I'd have to have it, 14 that I'd have to wait, and then when I was 21 I finally had it, like 2 weeks from my 22nd birthday last year, and I stayed. It happened at the same hospital, John Radcliffe, in Oxford, and I had to stay the night, which is what I was most worried about because I have a massive fear of hospitals, right? And I tell you now, yeah, the point I'm getting to is John Radcliffe, I'm sure it's like this in every hospital, but John Radcliffe's use of painkillers is spot on. I was sat in this bed, right, and I've like smoked before and stuff, right, I've done all this stuff.
Stuff.
I was in bed, okay, and I didn't really, when I woke up in like a recovery ward, and I was obviously spaced off my tits, I didn't know where I was, and then I remember waking up again in like my overnight ward where I was staying, opposite some old geezer, and I realised that I was attached to all these drips, because obviously I couldn't eat because my face was all banged up. I realised one of the drips was a morphine button, and every 5 minutes I could inject 1 millimetre or 1 milliliter, I think it was, of morphine. And when I tell you, I got so addicted to this thing within the space of like the 24 hours I was there.
God.
I set an alarm at one point. I couldn't sleep, right, because some guy got wheeled in that woke me up, and the old geezer opposite me took a tumble, so I couldn't sleep. So I set an alarm every 5 minutes. I had my AirPods in, and every 5 minutes I set an alarm. So every time the morphine was able to go again, I just click it. What I tell you now, I woke up at like 10 a.m. the next day, best sleep I ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And I got woken up because a nurse brought me mashed potato, yogurt, and jelly, and I was like, "Oh, for breakfast, bro, for breakfast." I was like, "Fuck,
Oh man.
fuck off, man!" It was
Hospital
horrific.
food, best food.
It's shit.
Yeah, dear.
The best bit about that day, yeah, obviously, Mum, Macy, Dad, and Eve were all there. Everyone went home, and my mum came back in the morning, and she went to the cafe and bought like a packet of couscous. And I asked a nurse for a knife, and my mouth opened about 2 millimeters, and just about enough to fit a knife in it. So I kept putting couscous on a knife and scraping it in my mouth. It was the most ghetto thing you ever see in your life. It was disgusting.
The most ghetto thing.
It was.
I wouldn't stretch.
It was
that
such
far,
a
mate.
for a young white boy. It was such a B-Tech thing to do.
To beat.
It was awful. Like, it was like I can't afford a spoon, so I use a knife sort of thing. It was horrible. But
See, you played Knife or Spoony before.
yeah, we're all good now. But I think if we were to give someone a trophy for that, who would it go to?
Callum.
I think Callum's bumhole story takes
He
top
had a
spot.
finger up his arsehole, but I mean,
I mean,
if that doesn't
it
win it, I
wasn't
don't
the
know what
first
will.
time, was it? Let's be honest, probably not the first time. But
But you know, he's probably double digits at least now. Well, he can fit in him, but I
Well,
won't put that
that's
down
what got me started with it. To be honest,
Oh,
you know, I just loved it
Christ.
so much.
Right, we are going to start on now. We're going to start with our actual questions. So I've got 10 questions, and I do have a hypothetical scenario which I'll have to bring up on my phone toward the end. But we've got 10 hypothetical sort of scenarios. I'm going to put the boys in, and I want them to answer it. I'll answer it as well. But we'll start off. Number 1. Would you rather know how you die, right, but not know when, or would you rather know when you die but not know how? We'll start with Tom.
That's quite a difficult one.
There's loads of things that are in play when it comes to this, isn't it?
There's loads of variables, regardless. Like,
if you know when you die, and you avoid doing that thing on the day you're supposed to die,
but it's
does that
but you don't know how though. That's the thing,
because
it could be anything.
So,
it could be a heart attack. It could be a stroke. It could be getting in, crashing on a plane.
Too many fingers up the
arse.
arse.
So the thing is, if you were to say that, guys, so I've gone through this whole thing with my girlfriend, right? And I came to the conclusion, if you were, like you said, if you knew when you died, but you didn't know how, the problem is you would be a vegetable, wouldn't you? Like, so the way I see it is, I have my answer, but if you know how you die, but you don't know when, so say you know you get hit by a lightning bolt, for example, right? Every time it rained, you would never leave the house. If you were to get hit by a car, you'd never leave the house. If you were to get
too scared to do
if
anything.
you were to get stabbed, you would never go to big events, big crowds, that sort of stuff. It's the same with if you knew when you died. There's no real outcome for that because you don't know how it happens. So you could be sitting in your house going, "Oh, I'm going to die today," but like you could be sat in your house thinking, "I'm safe." The minute passes, you're like, "Ha!" and then the wall falls on you and kills you. You're like,
the house just explodes or something.
So I made it. Bang.
Yeah.
Just your head explodes like scanners.
Oh no! You just start going pale, get frozen.
I'd probably much rather know how I'd die.
Yeah, I definitely know. I'd rather.
I definitely want to know how, because if it's funny, then I'll be looking forward to it.
I set up the GoPro.
I couldn't do how. So are we all for how? Yeah. Yeah. I think how. So we'll go for how. Number 2. Would you rather forget who you were, so forget your own identity, or who everybody else around you was, so you could never remember anybody but yourself?
Forget my identity, hands down.
Why?
Yeah, forget mine.
I'd much rather forget who I was than forget a lot of people that have been involved in my life.
Yeah, have you ever seen...
Yeah, because it's better to forget yourself, because it only affects you. If you forget everyone else, then that's more heartbreaking.
See, I was saying this to myself, but have you ever seen that Adam Sandler film, 50 First Dates?
No, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Films are shit.
How
you better watch yourself there, boy.
Wine, Sweet Sunshine.
Jesus.
How dare
his
you?
older ones are good.
This is one of his older ones.
Never seen Grown Ups.
This came out in like 05.
I have seen Grown Ups.
This came out time ago. This is one of the good ones. It's really good. But it's someone who has a car accident. The basic premise is girl has a car accident that he meets, and she only remembers that day, so every day is that day. So like say it's like April 10th. Every day she wakes up, she thinks it's April 10th. So her dad and her brother can't tell her. So they print like 1,000 newspapers that are exactly the same, that all say April 10th. And she has the exact same routine every day, and she can never remember anything. And that's like, right. I would say, forget who I was, but then I wouldn't want my family to go through that burden. But then again, I wouldn't want to forget who my family was.
It's the same on the other side, though, isn't it?
So I think, again, we're all in agreement. We'll go for forget who we were.
The thing is, as well, if you forget who everybody else is, they can manipulate you.
It happens anyway, fuck it.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a fun one. This next one. So wait, we're all in agreement, yeah? Forget who we were.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, would you rather, number 3, would you rather get dumber or uglier? Disclaimer, if you pick dumber, you don't get more good looking. If you pick uglier, you don't get smarter. You keep the same intelligence, the same appearance, but you have to pick one. Would you rather be dumber or uglier?
I'd say uglier, because I'm already ugly enough
Fucking
as
knew
it
you were gonna
is,
say
and idiocy annoys me so much.
Yeah, but there are some
so,
there are some things you do, and I'm like, what the fuck, Callum? But But then it's vice versa.
Yeah, but that's just lack of.
That's common sense.
That's just lack of common sense. That in terms of actual raw intelligence, when people do something stupid, that's not common sense related.
There was a girl at my school. We were doing.
It makes me want to kill them.
There was a girl at my school. We were doing like capitals of like countries, right? In a geography class in Year 8, and we're gonna call her Sarah. And she's really ditzy, right? Nice girl, but really slow, really ditzy. And my teacher said, Sarah, need to say her real name now. Sarah, what's the capital of Wales? And she went, England. And for real, I was sat next to her. I pulled my earphones out and just stared at her. She was like, what is it? Quick, tell me. And I went, for a laugh, I went, Madrid. And she went, oh, I know it, so I'm only joking, it's Madrid. And everyone fucking died.
God.
Everybody died. Nobody could believe it. And I was like, wow, I've just ruined your life. And literally until like...
Is this the same girl who, after she started driving, she would go up to junctions and she'd stick out both her hands in L shapes because she didn't know her left and right?
No, I've never been in a car with the girl I'm currently talking about, but I know who you're on about.
Yes, there's nothing more terrifying than that when you're in a car with someone who has to do that. My girlfriend did that. I'd much rather be in a car with someone who speeds than that.
My girlfriend did that once at the start of our relationship to scare me when we were in Reading, and I honestly, on the topic of Reading, I want to say I was right in the last podcast. You two both belittled me and said Reading was a city.
Yes,
it's a town.
We'll admit we were wrong, but Reading is a very big town.
It's a big town, but it's a town nonetheless. Thank you,
very
Jake
big
Brame.
Town.
Jake Brame, I am name dropping you.
I think it used to be a city at some point.
But either way.
I don't know.
So yeah,
I'm not saying anything factual anymore about cities.
Alright, so Tom, we got Callum's one. Callum would rather get uglier because he's already ugly apparently. No comment. Tom, would you rather get dumber or uglier?
I mean, probably dumber because I don't really have a lot to lose, intelligence-wise. So I think dumber for me.
The thing is, can Will get any dumber?
May I remind you, Callum, Mr. 2, you know what's coming, Mr. 2-week uni dropout, right? I am in my final year. Yeah, low blow, damn straight. Grab them testes. I'm in my final year.
Yeah, but I was doing a course that requires intelligence.
Regardless. Wow. Ouch.
There you go.
My soul. Ow. I think I would rather get...
We're getting sidetracked, guys.
I think I'd rather get... If I can keep my level of intelligence, I think I'd rather get uglier. Because I've been ugly. I was ugly up until the age of 21. And now I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm good looking, but I'm a lot better looking than I was. So I think I'd just go back and be smart. I don't know, because unless you could guarantee I could get with like a model, which wouldn't happen, just because brain smarts, you've got to be smart. I think I'd just be ugly.
But most models don't have any smarts anyway.
Vegan.
And obviously because I'm in a loving relationship, love you.
Fucking hell, man.
No, listen. I say this right.
Fucking absolute batty.
Do you know why I said this? Do you know why I said this?
Jesus.
So she was listening to the first episode, and where we mentioned about Meghan Markle and Harry, right?
Yeah.
She was like, I have a question. Like, what's that? She played it. And she went, what's this? And it's just a note of me going, Meghan Markle would get the pipe every day of the week. she was like, the fuck is that? Obviously she was joking. She was like, the fuck is that? And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, really? I was like, yeah, really. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, even if you said you wouldn't, you'd be flat out lying.
At least in this episode, we've established who the cringy one is now.
Cal, I'm not being funny. That was crowd service. It's definitely you, okay? It's definitely you and your partner. If anything, it's more. I love your girlfriend to bits, but she loves her social media posts, appreciation posts. She does love her appreciation posts. It's quite cute, to be fair.
Yeah, but I ain't cringy. I just do my own
I don't know. When you're in the same room and you're in one of their moods, it's a bit weird.
Yeah, but that's the same for any relationship, though. As soon as you become the third wheel, it's just like, okay.
I just don't publicly put it on a podcast.
Oh, the tip has gone in. I'm getting out.
Whenever I'm with my girlfriend at like a party, I just slag her off. We just slag each other off. I think it's funny. until it gets late, and then like we both get tired and shit, and it's just long. But anyway,
Boys, we've sidetracked again.
I know that's what this podcast is about. Sidetracking. Life is such, mate. Such is life.
Waffling.
Regardless.
It goes to show that we are so dumb we do not know which way forward is.
You know which way is forward? Oh mate, we are so fucking dense, it's unreal.
Oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have chose the dumber one.
Yeah,
Fucking
fuck me. Tom, someone's got to carry this torch.
Right. Fucking hold the fucking flame.
Number 4. Here we go, number 4. Coming up to halfway. If you had to choose between living 20 more years of life, but you were always happy, or living forever and being immortal, but you were miserable all the time, what would you pick?
I'm already miserable, so that one.
Yeah, 20 years. 20 years.
Wait, so hold on. Wait, so Callum went with immortal miserableness.
Yeah, because I'm already miserable.
I mean, you work at such a shit place. I don't, but and I hope they're listening because dickheads.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
No.
Well, you're gonna get sacked.
I don't work there. No, Callum enjoys his job. I worked there for a little bit. It just wasn't for me. They're alright people.
It's just the job itself you didn't enjoy.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with the people as such. It's the job. It doesn't. I'm a very like hands-on guy, and it's basically like Callum does the more admin side of things on the computers, right? But it was like fixing phones, stacking phones, reselling phones, sending phones out, stuff like that. And it just like you were in an office all day, and I don't have a problem with being in an office. The money was good. I just didn't enjoy it. It was really boring for me personally. But
yeah, the one thing I don't like about it is being sat down all day.
Yeah, I've got to be up and moving, man.
Just...
Like I've got to be doing something. I've got to be stimulating myself, otherwise I just wither away. I'm like that woman at the end of Titanic. It's like, it's been 74 years. How long has it been since
I decided to drown my boyfriend?
He could have easily fit on that
Fucking,
blanket.
there's enough space.
He could have fit on there, man. That's some bullshit. That's some Hollywood bullshit right there. But yeah, are we all in favour of living for 20 years of happiness? Actually, no, Callum isn't. Callum picked forever.
Callum isn't. I am.
You fucking weird guy. Also, I've just ripped a hole in my slipper, and now my toe's cold.
Well done.
I'd let you guys know that.
Find the old duct tape.
Right, number 5. We're halfway. We've made it, boys. If you were offered, this is difficult, right, for some people because mentally it's a bit weird. If you were offered a £30,000 a year salary, right, to sit in a black room 9 to 5, 5 days a week, what would you do? No sound.
No.
In fact,
I'd go insane.
This was the. Okay, actually no. I'll add this on.
Is it just one or is it 2 questions?
No, it's 1. But I'll add an extra bit at the end. So if you were offered £30,000 a year to sit in a pitch black room in silence 9 to 5, would you do it?
So no phone, no
nothing, just pitch black.
Oh, but tax free?
Yeah, is it 30
No,
tax free?
of course not.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that noise.
Alright, now I'm gonna
honestly, I'd go insane. It's literally like being weird, in a fucking... Yeah. I don't think
I'd just wank
that.
constantly.
I'll add a plan B.
Oh
I'll add B onto it. So if you were offered £30,000 a year to sit in a black room 9 to 5 with music, but you couldn't pick what songs played, it would just be like a playlist that never stopped, then it'd just be random songs throughout history. Would you do it?
Oh god, it would just...
That's not
nah,
too
the
that
thing is,
changes
knowing mine, like, it would just be WAP on repeat.
No, it literally, if you took every song ever, like every hit song, and threw it in a blender, and it just pissed out one every 2 minutes, like, would you do it?
I'd be more inclined to pick it, yes, because there is some form of stimulation in there. Because if you're in a black room with nothing, you're literally going to go insane.
I mean, some people, I've meditated before and stuff, but I feel like meditating in a black room for 20 minutes, half an hour,
8 hours
is completely different to meditating in a black room. Like, because my room's got, like, ambience, you know what I mean? It has, like, I have, like, an airing cupboard in my room and shit. I live next to the motorway, so it's not completely silent. But if you're in a completely silent, soundproof room and it's black, and you can't even tell if your eyes are open or shut, like...
But are you in this black room for every second of every day, or is it for a set amount of time?
So you get a lunch break, but you can't leave the room.
What if I need to go for a shit?
There's a toilet in there.
You're looking too into it, Callum.
Yeah.
I need to know the specifics.
This is why I thought this would be a good topic, because I knew if anyone's going to look into the gritty details, it's fucking this melon. I knew he would.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think...
I don't want to have to shit on the floor.
Maybe if there was... Music, I'd probably be more inclined.
Yeah, I
to
think
choose
if
it,
there was
but
tunes in the background, I think I'd go for it.
regardless of what it is, you can vibe to anything. You
What-
know, you got fucking Mozart in the background.
What if I made
you're
it? What if I
fucking
made it
going
tax
for
free?
Oh yeah, that'd be a definitely.
Callum's
Tax-free,
in.
30 grand.
Callum's in.
I'd definitely
Obviously
be.
it's
In.
tax-free.
I would do it personally, regardless. I think because I'm I like being stimulated, but I also like the idea of doing nothing at the same time. So, and I'm really.
I don't think I'd probably, if I did end up doing that, if it was no music, I'd probably last maybe a couple days, and I'd just be like, I'm going literally insane.
And I'm really good at being on my own as well. Like, I like being alone, so I think it kind of suits
That's
me.
a very depressing.
Not in a
thought.
bad way, but I could. I'm happy like sitting there just chilling, watching a movie. Obviously, I'm in a black room, so it's different. But like, yeah, I don't know. I think what part of me likes to think I'd do it, but then part of me likes to think, fuck it, I'll push myself for a better job that pays more. But 30 grand is a decent salary, so I think we're all in favour
It's
of.
above average.
So you two are
so.
no, and I'm
Yeah.
yes.
I'm a no if there's literally no stimulation. I'm a yes if it has music.
Fair. Callum's a no.
I'm a no. I'm a no for
I'm
both.
a
because,
yeah.
Yeah, I would just go insane.
I think I'm a yes.
As much as I don't like people, I like to be able to see things. That's the big thing.
You're a
for me.
visual guy. You're a visual guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so we're going to number 6 now. There's a burning building. It's on fire. You have the chance to save 4 strangers or your sibling. Who are you picking?
Sibling.
I knew you'd pick sibling. Your sister's
Well, I've
like...
got multiple siblings.
I mean, my sister's fucking
Yeah,
18
was she
months
like
old,
one?
so I'm not leaving her in there.
I knew you'd pick sibling. I think this one's fairly straightforward.
Sibling, yeah.
Yeah, like again, sibling. I had this conversation with my sister, and she was like, "You better fucking pick me." But I had this conversation with her, and then again with my girlfriend, and my sister was like, "Well, realistically, why would you save the 4?" And I went, "What do you mean?" And she went, "You'd let me die for 4 strangers." I was like, "What do you mean?" She went, "Well, if I die, you have to come to my funeral. If they die, you don't know who they are." I was like, "You know what? As morbid as that is, fair point. Sibling it is." But yeah, my sister's my best mate.
Let me just change that. My sister is nearly 2, but she's still young.
Still 2. My dog's older than your sister.
Yeah.
But I think... there you go. That's
Definitely have to be
another quick
sister.
fire one. Pet or 4 strangers?
Pet.
4 strangers, harder than burn in a fire.
Fuck
for all
that.
I
My,
care.
Oh,
Harvey.
nah, man.
your dog is so amazing.
He's
Oh
so
my!
lovely.
No, he's not. He's a fucking bellend.
Jokes.
He's a dopey
Oh.
dwarf. He's awesome.
Do you know what he's like?
Oh, no.
He's the opposite end of... If you have my dog, at the end of the spectrum, of just hyper little twat, your dog is literally the polar opposite. He just lays there.
For people who don't know, he is a basset hound.
He doesn't do anything.
He is lazy. He does nothing.
My dad would love him.
But, oh no, honestly, I think he would just melt into your dad's lap and just literally live there.
The thing is,
'Cause
he's
he
a big boy,
anything warm. Oh no, he weighs about. He's over 4 stone.
My dog's so hyper, but he thinks he's a tiny little bastard. So like, when we went to pick him up, Callan came with me, and he was a really tiny puppy. Now he still thinks he's that tiny little dog. He doesn't realise he's grown about 2.5 feet in length. So he's...
I know, it's so funny whenever I go
He's a
over.
little bastard.
He's just so hyperactive. Just like, person's here!
He does it all the time.
Literally, I remember the first time I properly. I know I met him when he was a puppy, but when I saw him when he
Oh,
he
yeah,
was
I
probably
remember
about
this.
1 maybe. Oh my god! Literally head straight into my nuts. I was like, oh my god.
I ordered a takeout like 3 weeks ago, and I opened the door because I could see the guy walking down the grass, right? And Bugsy barked at him, and I swear to you, this man slipped flat. Sorry, Mr. Delivery Man, from K's Peri Peri, but he fucking is pissing rain, and he slipped arse over tit. Fair play to him, yeah. He had my food intact the entire way down. It was like he caught the winning pass in the Super Bowl. Like he weren't dropping that.
Odell
He
Beckham.
weren't dropping that shit, man. One hand, he went down like a champion. He's like, "Sorry, sir, but they saved it." I was like, "You are an icon." I gave him a review on Just Eat as well. I was like, "What God?"
You got to something like service like that is
I don't know. I didn't get a name, but delivery man with the little stubble and little receding hairline. I hope you're okay, and I hope you got your promotion.
75% of delivery drivers.
I hope you're okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, tangent. I think so. We're in agreement. Yeah.
Next
me
question.
and Callum said pet. Tom said.
I said strangers.
Oh God, fuck you, Tom.
Yeah.
Poor Harvey.
If it was any other room, I might put. Well, I say any other. I've only got I've got fish. Does fish count? Can I save the fish?
No. Fuck the fish. Number 7.
What about your chinchilla or whatever it is?
Oh no, that died a while
You still
ago.
have that? Jesus.
No, that died like fucking before we moved.
Oh.
But though, ironically, we still have the cage.
Oh. Lock Harvey.
Don't know
to
why.
Put Mila in it.
Oh god. Yeah.
If you had to choose,
God.
number 7, if you had to choose between only having one friendship for the rest of your life or a relationship for the rest of your life, which would you choose? In fact, no, sorry, let me reword this because it's not worded very well. I've really messed this one up. So if you had one person, there was only one person left in the world, and you could be a friend with them or in a relationship with them, like so you'd have all the perks of a friendship or all the perks of a relationship, which one would you go for?
Well, it would depend on, is the other person the opposite gender or the same gender?
Your choice.
No, it doesn't matter to you, does it?
It doesn't matter to me. It matters to you guys.
Well, for me and Tom, we'll say opposite gender.
Okay.
That's just cheating.
Combine
Combine me
quite a
both.
difficult one.
No, Callum.
What?
Okay,
Transsexual?
we'll just say it's a woman, alright? For argument's fucking sake, because I knew...
With a penis.
God, fucking hell.
I knew we'd do this. You're pushing my buttons,
love it.
Callum. You're pushing my buttons.
God.
It's not the first time either. You said you liked it last time.
Oh my god.
Will has left the chat. Alright, come on. Answers.
That's quite a
So if
difficult
it's a bird-
one, though, I think.
Alright, fairly good looking bird.
How big the titties?
I'm gonna say C. Just an average. This is such a bloke conversation.
I don't. I would probably say friendship.
It's hard,
because
isn't it?
There's no point trying to repopulate because everyone's going to be inbred, and then
Yeah, that's so true actually.
so it's just going to be a dysfunctional generation anyway. And
It
then
already is.
like the problem with the relationship is once you've got the friendship part of it, if something within the relationship is affected, that can affect the friendship part of your relationship as well.
Yeah, this is
true.
what I was. This is what I would go with friendship. Personally.
Yeah, I think I'd probably go friendship.
Because there are benefits. Again, I went through this whole list. I gave this list to my girlfriend and said, like, I want your opinion on all the answers, right? And some of those are quite weird. But this one, she said the only thing stopping her from the friendship was the fact that she wouldn't be able to sleep with him.
Nah, you
Wow.
can. Friends with benefits.
Do you know? When she said that, I was like, that's fair. It's kind of fair.
At least she's honest about it.
No, because come on, man. Like, we're young people. Like, say if
Well,
we're
yeah,
23 and
you're
you got to
smart.
live to your 90, 80, and you ain't getting any, you're going to be... There's only so much your hand can do, you know what I mean? And especially
You
if...
make
No,
like
mate.
a...
No. You can still have sex with them. It's called friends with
No.
benefits or payment.
But then that would fuck the... Then
Payment.
that's the same principle
Yes.
of messing up the friendship, no?
Yeah, that would mess with the dynamic
Yeah,
of it.
it'd
I
just
think,
be
if
weird,
you
'cause then
done something like that.
eventually-
Keep-
it only
keeping it
messes it up if
simple.
you stick it in the wrong
No,
hole.
this is the problem, bro. I've done the friends with benefits thing before, right? It only takes...
You're gonna say something
No,
else. I've done the other hole before.
Cal has. It only takes it's only a matter of time in a friends with benefits situation until somebody gets hooked. It's inevitable.
Nah, it's literally a ticking time.
It's
bomb, man.
inevitable. Like, we've all been there. I know Tom has. I know I have.
I have, yeah.
Literally just, it's like Tom said, it's just a ticking time bomb. It will just blow up in your face. Callum, not a word. I know what you're thinking.
What?
Nothing.
No terrorist jokes here.
Oh, that wasn't what I was referring
gay
to.
jokes.
Yeah, I was referring to the gay joke. Like that one you turned
Oh.
at the uni. We'll tell that another time because that was disgusting.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Okay, so I think we're all for friendship, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, friends.
Dropping the sex is a hard one. That is a big sacrifice. You know what? No, I'm going to go relationship literally for that reason.
Nah, it's fine. I'm sure there'll still be animals in the
No,
world.
I'm going relationship. So I'm on relationship. So Tom, Callum, I think you're friendship, yeah.
You can go fuck a moose.
Oh wow!
I mean, you drink. Oh, no, I'm not going to say that.
Suddenly,
Oh no.
I'm back on your side, boys. Now that the moose is involved. Anyway, number 8. If you had this is probably the hardest one to be fair. If you had to choose between never listening to music again or never turning it off, what would you choose and why? You can't turn it down. There's no cheating. it's just music, just normal volume, but you can never turn the fucking thing off ever.
Is it just like playing around you, or are you permanently wearing like headphones?
No, so just imagine there's a massive speaker in the sky, and it's just playing music.
So you have your own soundtrack.
No, yeah, but you can't pick the music. Again, it's like the Dark Room. It's just around all the songs ever, just put in a playlist. You can't turn it down, can't turn it off. It's just fucking playing all the time.
Okay.
I'd say always playing, because I like music enough to.
But you can't sleep.
Yeah, I can.
To be fair, Callum can sleep for a fucking earthquake.
No,
Exactly.
it's ridiculous, man.
It's actually outrageous.
And then if in doubt, just take a fuck ton of morphine.
Go back to John Radcliffe, they'll sort me right out.
Wow.
Exactly.
Tom, what are you saying?
It's one of those ones. I do really enjoy music, and in general, I'm normally playing music in the background anyway.
Yeah, so am I.
So probably I could put up with any music. I've got a very broad music taste, so I think I'd be okay.
I think that's interesting to me, because I would go the other way. I would say never listen to it again, because there's plenty of other forms of entertainment. As much as I love music, and I listen to music on average like an hour or two a day. Like, I can live without it. Like, if I go without music, I don't like sit in a car, or I don't like. I shouldn't say that. Probably a better example. I don't walk around and go, fucking hell, wish I could have music. Sometimes.
The thing is, though, Will, music is in other forms of entertainment.
What?
So, video games have music in it.
Take the music out.
TV shows have
Callum,
music in it.
most video games that have music in it have shit music. I can't tell you.
Nah.
No. Tell you what, the games that are really good are often the ones that have good soundtracks. But, right, and we're not going to talk too much about games, because that could be a future episode, maybe. But,
I think we should just incorporate it in each one.
But,
we're nerds.
I think, like, so for example, I've never played FIFA and been like, this is a sick soundtrack. There's the odd song you hear on FIFA that's on the radio. Yeah. And you're like, oh, that's a FIFA tune. But
I like to say FIFA soundtracks normally suck, but NBA is bad.
NBA suck. 2K soundtracks are normally quite decent.
Yeah, but I'm on about like immersive games.
Yeah, I know you're like an RPG nerd.
So,
but I like sports
if
games.
you don't have the music in that, and then if you don't have music in films as well, it makes it so much less like suspenseful. If there's a scene in a film where like it needs big suspenseful music.
It's like a Lord of the Rings scene. There's like,
imagine watching a horror movie and there's no scary music in the background. It's just things appear on screen and go.
So this
just won't work.
This is the problem I knew would happen with this. Right, Callum would look too deep into the questions. So I'm just on about like background music. I'm not on about it not coming on in. I'm not on about like.
Sorry, boys. I'm a realist.
Well, the point of this is hypothetical. It's nothing to do with real. That's just the point.
I don't care.
So
It's 2021. Anything could happen. One of these scenarios could eventually become true.
Very true. So you're both on never turning it off.
Yeah.
I have to go the other side. I can't lie. Number 9. So the guys had to quickly edit out me being stupid, drop the microphone, made a big boy bang. We're back anyway. I just had to get something up on my phone for after the questions. Back on number 9. If you had to give up sex for one thing in the world, what would it be? So if you could have anything in
cocaine.
I was just about to say the same thing.
If you could have anything in the world, but the price to pay was no sex, like no orgasm ever.
Okay.
What would it be? This is difficult.
Wanking. Because then I can still orgasm.
You know what that's like? That's the equivalent. You know when someone's like, if you had one wish, what would it be? And there's always that one dickhead that goes, I'd wish for more wishes. That's exactly what Callum's just fucking done.
Literally.
Fucking arsehole. Every time.
A house, probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, seeing as our generation can't buy fucking houses,
See,
I'd gladly give up.
I've thought this through.
Be able to have my own house.
I thought this through.
You go for blow up doll.
This is my dad's answer. I asked my dad this question time ago. Do you know what he said?
Blow up doll.
My dad said a winning lottery ticket.
Ah.
Do you know what Neve said?
Are we talking Euro
Euro Millions, like 120 mil Euro Millions ticket.
Oh.
Do you know what Neve said?
What?
She's a big Back to the Future nerd, right? She said the Accumulator. You know the book that has all the.
I've never seen. I've never seen it.
So there's a book. I think it's called the Accumulator. I'm not a big fan of it, but I'm pretty sure that's the name. In one of the Back to the Future films, I don't even know which one. There's a book, and it has obviously they go back in time, right? And then they go to the future. But there's a book in the future, and it's a sports history book, and it has all the results, who scored what of the past like games. So, for example, it would have like say United won 3-0 and Rashford scored all 3 goals. It would say 3-0 United when he scored the goals and stuff, right? And the geezer goes back in time, goes to the future, gets this book, goes back in time and bets on all these things to happen. So you could go back in time and you could put a £10,000 bet on Leicester to win the league, and you get £500,000 return.
Oh mate, I swear someone did £100 bet and they got like, I don't know how much they got.
Well, it was 5,000 to 1, isn't it? So if you're putting £1 on
pound, you get £5.
Yeah, so if you're putting £100, that's what, I don't even know, 50 grand. My maths is shot to shit, but yeah.
Mate, I'm an idiot, so I'm not going to bother.
But I think I'd have to take my dad's answer though and go for a winning Euro Millions ticket.
Yeah, I don't know,
because if I won the Euro Millions, I'd just end up being lazy and not work. Whereas I'm one of those rare individuals who doesn't mind actually going to work because it keeps me busy. Because lockdown, we all had to spend time at home, like not doing anything really. And it fucking drove me mad.
Yeah, you're not.
Oh no, I was the same. I had to look after my sister because my mum's frontline worker, and my stepdad was still working, and he's in shielding, so he wasn't going to work even like sort of 3 months before lockdown.
Oh Christ!
So I had to look after my sister for a while, and I love it to bits, but it's it does get a lot. It gets a lot of shit.
So what are we saying? Are we saying house?
I'm saying
I'd say house.
Right, so then to a certain house.
But then I can also agree with Dave's
a
suggestion.
All right, so I think we've wrapped that one up quite nicely. Number 10, final question before my big scenario. If you could sell your soul to the devil, what would it be for? So Illuminati shit.
To have the guitar skills of Slash.
I knew you'd say something about an instrument.
Mate, honestly, like, if it's worth something, giving your soul for, it has to be something that is just, that incredible that not many people can do, Like, you could say sell your soul for a car, but, there's probably a couple 100,000 people that have got that car.
Yeah.
But there's only one Slash. And, well, if I do that deal, there's fucking 2 now. But I would much rather have some sort of ability like that.
No, yeah, I get that.
Or you could go down the route of, superpower, but in my views, his guitar abilities are just godly. So
I would sell my soul to have my own circle in hell that I can manage.
Okay,
you know what,
yeah, that's a good answer.
That's
actually
fairly smart. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that.
I'd be going to hell anyway when I die, but because I've already got my own circle in hell, when I die, I'm just gonna become a manager. And I can just be in charge. I could just be in charge of who gets tortured, how they get tortured. It'll be great.
This is a department manager. Well,
this is
Bill. You'll be reporting to him.
He's going to be your team leader.
Welcome. I don't know.
Please collect your itineraries.
This was one I struggled with. I had a few ideas, but this is genuinely. I think, the one I said, and not bullshit when I said this, was to have the impact on the world that Muhammad Ali had, not only as an athlete but as a person.
Yeah, that's
because obviously I'd want like the boxing skills, obviously, but and all the stuff that came with it.
You can sting like a butterfly and float like a bee.
Oh dear, but
never say that again, Callum.
I'd like the confidence,
Except I said it wrong.
Yeah, I know. I'd like
I know that's what I never say.
I'd like all the characteristics and shit, but I'd like to have the impact he had on it. That's such an environmentalist outlook on it. If I'm being stupid about it, I'd probably say the footballing skills of Lionel Messi or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the musical talents of, I don't know, Ed Sheeran or Eminem or I don't know, something like that.
No, I've got a better one. Immortalise David Attenborough. Make him young again, and then he stays alive forever.
you get every fucking 8 years there's a button you can press to he's on his deathbed and you push the green button and you turn to the
brings him back to when he's 18.
Benjamin Button. And
yes.
In 70 years you've got a David Attenborough that's saying bruv and wagwan and Ross Clark.
Bam.
Oh, Christ.
You've got a mixed race David
Attenborough. He walks up to you in every single documentary. It starts what are you saying?
Sorry, I've rubbed my eye and it won't stop singing. You're on an island.
Singing.
Stinging. You are on an island. You're alone.
No, I'm here on my sofa. I am alone.
Listen, you're on an island alone. You'll never leave. You'll live the rest of your days on this island, right? No one else is there.
Do I get my own volleyball?
I'm getting to that. On the island are all the things you need to do your creative things that you enjoy.
Okay.
So write, paint, sculpt, play music, do what you will, right?
Yeah.
There's no video games, there's no internet, there's no digital things.
No, not my RuneScape.
Do you live on the island? Yes or no? You never have to worry about money again. You very much go back to the basic fundamentals of life. Would you do it?
Can I fuck a palm tree?
Figure it out, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, I'm in.
I think yes. I think I would.
See, when having this conversation... Sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, so much of anxiety is caused by money problems.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Stress of that, and just everything is just can be related to whatever we've been doing in this sort of 21st century. If you look 100 years ago, probably anxiety levels were nowhere near as high in people as they are today.
100%.
See, it's good for me as well, because whilst I'd go mad not being around people, I can do impressions, so I can just create my own people.
Hold on, real quick. Can I go back to the point? The point Tom made 100 years ago, World War One was going on. So I think you're probably wrong on that front.
Nah, but I mean in the sense of
there's less
in comparison to what was happening.
There's less stresses
obviously
around.
there was a lot of people there, but even in comparison to what people go through today, the anxiety levels would probably be equal. Because loads of people get severe anxiety problems that fluctuate due to everyday environmental circumstances, personal circumstances. But I still think it's for the percentage of people, it's probably much higher now, even considering back then it's World War, a lot of shit beef going down. But I still think general population, more people have anxiety. Not specifically talking about people in the army, because that's a completely different box of frogs.
Box of frogs.
That's fair.
It is.
I don't think I'd do it.
Hang on, well, did you say that 100 years ago World War One was
Didn't
happening?
have. Oh no! It started in 1940 and ended in 18, didn't it? I thought it started in 18. My bad. Sorry.
No.
I apologise. I got that completely wrong. That's my bad. So.
Right. What was your answer?
I don't think I'd do it, because humans are social animals. They're herd animals, man. I don't think.
Nah.
While I think it'd be nice, I could do it for I asked my girlfriend, and she's like, "Can I do it for 6 months?" I was like, "No, it's not a fucking holiday. You can't do it for. I'll do it for 6 months out of the year every year." I was like, "It's not a holiday." If that was
not a part-time job.
Jack Sparrow, just fucking use all your hair on your back and strap it to a sea turtle and escape.
It would be sick. I would love if you could do it for 6 months. Yeah, I'd do it every time. But I think I wouldn't be able to do it because I'm too. I don't know. I'd like to do it, but I wouldn't be able to do it for the rest of my life because.
Hang on, you were saying earlier that you'd happily be in a black room every day
but
for 30 grand,
but it's different.
Not interacting with anyone because you like being alone. This is another situation where you like being alone, but you won't do it.
The difference is, in the black room, I can leave that black room, go home to my family, see my mates, go to the pub,
Well, you never specified that, did you?
That's 9 to 5. This is genuine, living on an island by yourself in the middle of nowhere.
I'd still happily do it. I can fuck a palm tree and I can talk to a volleyball and do different impressions.
Callum would go nuts. He'd be like Tom Hanks in Castaway talking to a boat.
Nah, mate. I'll be having conversations between myself and Kermit.
Well,
I'll just be there I'll just be there Kermit, how are you doing today? Oh, it's going okay, thank you.
He loves to get these goddamn. Right, so that's it for the questions. I think
you need to stop fucking the palm trees.
I think we.
You can take your cock out of his mouth.
Have you seen that? That meme of Kermit, and then it's the other Kermit with the dark hood on. He's like a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
One of them's like, "Don't fuck the palm tree." And he's like, "Yes, do it, do it, do it,
Do it.
Screw it,
Blew it.
screw it,
Yes.
screw it again, screw it again, then again, and again." What happened to your load? Blew it.
I blew my load.
Oh god.
I blew my load all over Wilson's face.
I think that's it for
Right,
the questions.
okay.
I think that went pretty well.
Okay.
We made an hour out of that, an hour and 10 minutes to be fair. Well, no, 40 minutes probably. Longer than I expected.
Oh, right.
Something like that.
Let's
Can't
move
remember.
swiftly on then. Have you guys seen? So, everybody knows the full fucking debacle with Cyberpunk 2077, a game
Yes.
that I've been looking forward
Yes.
to for however many years, and it was the biggest disappointment for me because I'm an unfortunate bastard and have a PS4 to play on.
Mm.
And
Airplane jet.
I stopped playing it the second day after it came out, and I've not played
Yeah.
it since because I'm waiting for it to patch. And a few days ago, poor old CD Projekt Red have been sued by their investors.
Wow.
That was only a matter of time, though. You know, it was. I'm quite lucky because I've got a reasonable gaming laptop and it can run it, but I have to turn the resolution down and graphics on low, so it has a stable playing field. I've probably put about 20 hours into it, and it's still a pretty game, but there are still a lot of problems in it. Even if you've got a perfect gaming setup, you are still going to see a lot of problems with it.
See,
even after these patches.
The biggest problem is, so I reckon the reason why it was such a mess is not mainly the fault of CD Projekt Red, but the pressure from the fan base. So you had everybody going on social media just like, oh my god, when's it coming out, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I mean, there was like subreddits and everything for it. They had the pressure from their investors as well to push it, because
That was
otherwise
always
they're
going
not
to be a
making any
thing,
money.
though, because they put so much money into that game.
Yeah, I would say from publishers, but they are their own publisher, so it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter.
I don't know, man. I don't think you can make excuses for them, man. It's a AAA title. You've had 7 years,
Oh, yeah.
7-8 years in development. It should be runnable. It should at least fucking bare minimum. It should run.
It runs.
No.
But
Okay.
on last gen it doesn't.
Tom, you have a very good gaming laptop.
I wouldn't say very
Okay.
good. It's okay.
Compared to a normal PS4, I mean, Callum's got PS4 Pro. I've got an Xbox One X. So they're the more upscale versions of the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. They can't run the fucking game. My Xbox, in terms
Even
of like,
though they started development during their life cycle.
yeah, they started development.
It was like the start
Yeah,
of the life
so-
cycle. I think they
yeah,
started it.
I get, like, CD Projekt Red came out and said you're playing an old game on. You're playing a game. Someone complained about it, and they said in a tweet you're playing a game on 2013 hardware, right, and software. But the
Yeah.
game was built for that fucking console. So somewhere along the line they've said, you know what, we'll push it back until next gen drops. Like that's going to make that much of a fucking difference, because if the game runs shit on current consoles, Jake, I'm not going to say his last name, but mate, he's got a Series X, he has Cyberpunk, and he's a big like Xbox fanboy, right? Bigs it up, everything. Oh, it runs great. And after a week, he was like, you know what? It doesn't run great. It just doesn't drop frames. That's the only difference. It looks shit. Everything feels rushed. There's bugs all over the place.
Yeah.
He sent me a video. Every time he got in his car, his game froze. If he didn't have quick resume, like the Xbox feature, he would be waiting. Well, actually, he's got a nice Xbox now, so he wouldn't be waiting that long.
Well, he hasn't got the Series S.
He's got the X, yeah. He went big. But, yeah, he had quick resume, so it freed. He'd quick resume it, it'd freed. It was there for like 5 minutes. So,
It's so
Jeez.
stupid. That argument as well, and it's just like, okay, yeah, it's running on 70-year-old hardware, but I mean, look at the back catalogue for the past couple of years. You've got games like Ghost of Tsushima, you've got God of War, you've got Horizon Zero Dawn, you've got Red Dead 2. Red Dead fucking 2,
Red Dead
which is a
2
very
was the
demanding
big
game,
one,
and that
man.
game ran beautifully.
the Red Dead 2 was the Red Dead 2 did have a couple problems on base Xbox and PS4s, but it got sorted. Luckily, we've got quite powerful
sorted very
consoles, but within
quickly.
like, I think it was like, they have the day one patch, like streamers get it, influencers get it, and then they drop on release day, they'll drop like a day one patch. I literally
Yeah.
think it was like they dropped a day one patch, still had a couple bugs, and after like 2 weeks, all the bugs were gone, and it was just seamless.
Yeah.
Still the best game I ever played. Unreal.
Oh God,
Red
yeah,
Dead
fucking
2 is a
brilliant.
very
Unreal.
good game.
Unbelievable.
Luigi's Mansion's top of mind, and Breath of the Wild. Not gonna lie, Breath of the Wild is something else. That's a
I'm
ridiculous
not
game,
a Nintendo bloke, to be fair. So
mate.
Yeah,
if
I
you
tried
played
to
Breath
get
of the
into it.
Wild, you
I think I played it on your Switch when you first got it. But I'm not like
possibly.
a big Zelda man. My ex-girlfriend was big into like Zelda and all that shit. I never really got into it. I played is it Ocarina of Time?
Yeah, that's an
Played
old,
that
old
for a
one,
little
That's
bit.
like 97.
That's old boy.
That's
I've
really
played that.
64
I'm pretty
days.
sure they remade it.
They did on the
Yeah,
3DS.
they did
Yeah,
for
I-
3DS, and they changed the water temp.
Yeah, I played it on the 3DS for like maybe an hour. Didn't really like it. It's not my type of game.
No, they're good games. They are good games, but they're
They're selective.
You got to be. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I never grew up with Nintendo, so
I did. So that's probably where my
I got a
Yeah.
PlayStation and Xbox.
yeah, same here. But
lucky
no.
lucky me.
Anyway, moving on. Did you guys see that woman in Mexico who spent the past 10 years avenging her daughter's death?
No, but this sounds awesome.
10 years.
Mate, she was fucking awesome. So 10 years ago, her daughter got murdered by some members of, I think it was Los Zetas, you know, the biggest cartel in Mexico.
I do now.
They are evil bastards. And she spent the past 10
Slamming
years
doors in my
hunting
fucking
down
house.
every single one of them, creating fake IDs, dressing herself up differently, all of this and that, found each member and would kill them. And they finally caught wind of who she was and sadly killed her in her home.
Oh,
But yeah,
thought this
it's
was
one
a
of those
good
rare
story.
cases of somebody stepping up to someone like the cartel and actually doing something. And it
Yeah.
was fucking amazing. She did one report came out where she dressed up as a florist, and
Florist.
florist.
yeah,
Florist.
flower person.
Florist.
Florist.
Selling self-raising
Dressed up
flour. Yeah.
Yes.
Dressed up as Bill and Ben.
And the guy came past, realised who she was, did a runner. She caught up with
Pepper
him, and stopped him and forced him to reveal the locations of other members and killed him.
This
went
sounds
on
like
their way
Taken.
to
Wait, the mum killed him.
huh? The mum
Say
killed
that
him.
bit
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, the
oh,
mum
Jesus
killed him.
See,
Christ.
this is why like
Yeah,
places like
she's
Brazil
got-
and Mexico are just a no go. Fucking
Completely
Yeah.
different world. There's a lot of gang shit going on.
yeah,
in
especially
Mexico.
in Mexico. Man.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I have a story. Quick, just came back to my head. I don't know why it's just funny. I saw this on Instagram today, so I don't know how long ago it happened. I assume it's fairly recent. There was a thing that happened in America, right? There was this girl on Instagram, and one of her classmates was watching like a video, right, and she slurred him off. Got caught it on video. She was like slurring him off, calling him all the racist names under the sun, right? This black boy, being like really racist. I think he was gay as well, being like really homophobic. So he took it to his high school principal. They did nothing. Basically, just shut him down and said, "Go away," because you know he's black. That's essentially the reason for it. So fast forward, yeah, for high school ends. This is a true story. High school ends, and she gets into her dream college. Right? He gets wind of this and sends the video to her dream college, who immediately rescind the offer, followed by all the other universities that gave her offers rescinding their offers as well. I think that is the greatest story of karma maybe ever. I just came to my head and I was like, I've got to tell this. This is because I read it earlier and I put myself in the geezer's shoes. Imagine the pride you would have in yourself. I bet he forgot. Forgot about it.
yeah.
I bet he forgot, and then he saw like on Facebook. She was like, "I finally got into Duke or whatever fucking university it was," and he was like, "Oh
Yeah.
fuck, I've still got this video." Whack it out of the snap maps, pulls it out of the snap maps and sends it to the uni. And she just gets dropped. What a dream!
That's quality, man.
Absolute dream.
That's like just a sweet, sweet taste of victory.
Honestly,
Oh, yes.
sweet nectar.
Sweet nectar of sweet karma. I said sweet too many times then.
How many stories we got, Cam?
Well, I'm trying. Because the problem is, all of it's just about fucking COVID.
Yeah.
That's the only problem. Everything is at the moment.
We'll edit this bit out because this is like a
Well,
separate bit.
there's one bit that I'm really excited for, and that's a band that I love. Avenged Sevenfold is currently in the middle of recording their new album, which I'm fucking hyped for. So that's gonna be great.
I cannot wait.
I showed you a couple of their stuff, and you said it was good. So
No,
fuck
they're
you.
good, but it's not particularly my
It's not your cup of
band
tea.
that I'd listen to.
Well, apparently Lewis Capaldi ignored Jade Thirlwall from Little Mix when she tried to slide into his DMs.
Oh,
So that's some interesting news from Daily Record. I
Lewis
don't know.
Capaldi's a god. That's why.
He is a beautiful being. He's a
Do
lovely
it for the
boy.
tubs out there, Lewis.
Oh, yes. Alright, so I have aggressive squirrel attacks reported in New York City neighborhood.
Okay.
Florida. Have you ever heard of like the Florida man memes?
Oh yeah.
No,
They're
I don't
brilliant.
think so.
Well, there's a new recent one.
Oh god.
Florida man accused of setting his own truck on fire to give deputies something to do.
Oh no, yeah, I think I've seen those memes.
But this is quite a new story, which I think is brilliant. I've seen another news article about the squirrels attacking people. Brilliant. Except this one is now titled "Blood Everywhere."
Oh
God damn.
dear.
Jesus, these squirrels are going on a rampage. I kind of want to
Christ.
find out about this. Shibushi shi, Shibushi cho, Shibushi no Shibushi shia kusho, Shibushi shisho
Squirrels.
change name.
Squirrels.
What?
Squirrels. Squirrels, please. I vote
So-
squirrels. I'm voting for Tom as well. Executive decision.
Hmm.
Oh, and there's also Bulgaria uses hot dog trucks to deliver its first shipment of the vaccine.
Actually, you know what? I think Florida man, just because of how iconic the meme is.
Florida
Yeah,
man?
Florida
Alright,
man.
we'll go
as
Florida
well.
man.
Florida man, January
Let's
2nd.
find out what he's doing.
What you done?
Oh, okay. So underneath, like in news articles, under the headline, they've got like a quick sentence, and then they
Oh yeah.
starts
Overview
the
of
whole
it.
thing. So it goes: suspect says he wanted to give himself an early Christmas present.
What?
What the fuck? So,
Oh dear.
so yeah, a Florida man set his own truck up in flames because he wanted to give deputies something to do, according to Okaloosa County Sheriff's
But
Office.
was the guy that set it on fire the sheriff, or was he just a random bloke?
He was just a random bloke. So when authorities arrived on scene, 28-year-old Kevin Murphy immediately admitted to starting the fire.
That's
He was
such
placed
a
in handcuffs.
basic name.
And when deputies searched him, they said they found a glass pipe used to smoke meth in his pocket and folded up dollar bill with traces of meth in his wallet. When questioned, Murphy said he wanted something for the sheriff's office to do, and he wanted to give himself an early Christmas present, so he set his truck on fire.
Wow.
That's
That's
that's something that probably would never happen in England.
the fuck.
No,
It
definitely,
definitely
not.
wouldn't happen in England.
So yeah, that's about it. So what the fuck's this early Christmas present? Is it the meth or getting arrested?
Probably both.
That's what
Probably
I
both.
don't
To be
know.
fair.
Should we find out about the
Jeez.
squirrels?
Yeah.
Because I'm very
Find
intrigued
out about
as
the
to
squirrels
why
and then we'll
there
wrap this up.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, so some people living in a Queens neighbourhood are afraid to leave their homes. That's because there have been several aggressive squirrel attacks over the last few weeks.
Squirrels can be
Queens in New
cunts.
York.
Oh, they can be. This woman was attacked by a squirrel 1 week ago. She's just like, you hear someone's been bitten by a squirrel. You're like, okay, you got a little nib. What's the deal? But this was an MMA cage match, and I lost. She said the squirrel, totally unprovoked, went after her as she stood on the front stoop of her Rego Park home on 65th Drive. We're wrestling in the snow. There's blood everywhere. And my fingers got chewed, and it won't let go.
How big is this? How big was this
Security
fucking
camera
squirrel?
image shows the hang on, there's
Wrestling a
security
squirrel.
camera footage as well of it.
Oh, we can't see the security.
Yes.
Oh god.
Several of Frederick's neighbours have also been terrorised by the raging rodent.
This must be the world's
Fuck.
biggest squirrel. To wrestle us.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like if I had a clear view of it running at me, there's only one thing I'm gonna do.
Punt it, field goal style.
Yep.
Oh, it's good.
Fucking punt it like it's a rugby
Yeah.
ball going
Nah,
through
mate,
and
don't
getting
punt
me a
it.
conversion.
Don't punt it. Curb stomp
I
it.
would Ronan O'Gara that bitch into the next millennium Grand Slam style. Just drop kick at goal.
Nah, literally, I'd be Johnny Wilkinson, cupping my hands, fucking rating,
Doing
fucking
the
lining
little-
him up on him.
Do the
Bang!
little golf hips, twat it.
Yeah.
Do little visor as well. Put your hand over your eyes like, oh, there it is.
Oh man, I
Fucking
think it's
squirrels.
good to end it on angry squirrels. Don't
I
you?
do.
Yes, but I would like to add something else that I have actually seen and have photographic evidence of a white squirrel.
Ooh. We're going to have to send this to the group
Was
chat.
it angry?
I honestly, I shit you not, it is so rare. If you Google, I'm not sure if it was a white squirrel or an albino squirrel, because there's a difference obviously in the
Well,
eyes.
yeah,
You can't
obviously.
see the eyes, but I was walking and literally just saw this white ball of fluff. I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I was like, it looks like a squirrel. That can't be
I
a
tell you
squirrel.
what,
It's fucking
anyone
white.
listening, if you've made it this far, follow our Twitter at, what is the at, Can? At Life is Such Podcast.
It's Life is Such Podcast, but the O in podcast is a 0, and It's the same on our Instagram as well, because some twats decided to name their podcast the same thing 2 years ago, even though they've only got one
I've
thing
listened.
up.
I've listened to that and it's trash. Anyway, if you've made it this far,
I mean, as is trash as well.
if you've made it this far and you've heard about the albino squirrel, we're gonna post this when this video when this podcast is released. So if you listen to this now, check our Twitter. The photo on our Twitter will be an albino squirrel.
No, what we'll do, we'll post it before the podcast comes out as a little
No
teaser.
context.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
just an
context.
albino
Just an albino squirrel. We'll just go, see you on Thursday.
So if you,
Just with
so
the
if you're
squirrel.
listening to this and you're wondering what the albino squirrel was, now you know. That's Tom's good photography.
There we
yes,
go.
yes. It's not a very good picture, but you can see it as a white
Regardless.
squirrel.
Anyway,
Sadly, there aren't any photos of me getting fingered by doctors.
that would be
I'd
our,
much
that
rather
that
not
would
see
be our,
that.
that would be my header. Just Callum's arsehole in a hand.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, sadly, I believe that's all. I think we're done, lads. I'm not going to lie. We've covered everything we want to cover today.
I
Yeah,
think we
Another
are.
good episode.
Yeah.
I'm really,
Had a
really
good
enjoying this.
Right, should
Yeah,
I
it's
provide
fun.
an impression to see us off?
If you must.
Who
If you
should-
can do one off the cusp.
Oh, who should I do?
3, 2,
Should I do
1,
everyone's
go.
favourite Muppet?
Hi guys, it's Kermit the Frog here. I'd just like to say thanks for listening to the podcast, and now you can all fuck off and go home. Wah!